you hear my voice, you'll be on the floor scooping up bits of your brain. And whether or not you dress to the nines, hide in the dark, or innocently try to pass unnoticed in the crowd, I'll find you. Naked, helpless, and disoriented. Easy prey, that's what you'll be for me. And in the end, when this is almost over, you'll beg me not to stop. And believe me, I won't. There's only one way that you can stop me now. Kill me.
So thank you, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. It's my first time in Gastromasa and as well in Turkey. So thank you to Gosman. He's an amazing person. He organized one of the most beautiful congress all around the world. And thank you for being here to show in our video and listen in our chat. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Hrvoje. I'm a Croatian journalist, and we will have a few questions for Dabiz today. So my first question will be, you opened Diverso like 14 years ago. You changed location in the meantime, but still you got a 3 Michelin star in such a short time. You got a first star at 2009, second on 2011, and third on 2013.
Yes.
You experienced a lot of changes, but what was the breaking point for your professional career? And is there anything that you regret from the past and if you'd love to change?
You know, I opened Diverso 15 years ago. I was very young. I was 27. And the restaurant was very successful almost from the beginning. So, yeah, if I'm looking back all of those years, for sure, definitely I will do a lot of different things in different way. It's true that we make full bookings the restaurant from the very first moment, and that was a lot of pressure from the beginning. We keep the passion and the illusion from the very first time, even after all the success and recognition and everything. Even now, 15 years later, we changed 3 times the location, and now we want to change a 4th time location. We've been in that location almost 8 years. We are gonna be 2 more years. And I hope to change location for September of 2023. I want to refine and redefine constantly Diverso. We're trying to make Diverso experience a big surprise every year. Every time the people are coming back, every time the people come back to the restaurant, we want them to show a different experience, completely new different experience. And this is quite tough. So that's why one of the reasons we want to change location once again is because we want to make a bigger restaurant, completely new experience. The DNA of the restaurant is gonna be almost the same, but it's gonna be completely different from the restaurant that we have now. So we have to wait until 2023. I hope to, next time Gosman invite me to Gastromasa, I will come to talk about the new Diverso location.
So for the people that haven't been to Diverso, you're talking about the DNA. How would you describe your DNA?
You know, from the beginning, I was very obsessed to make Diverso unique. Talking, lot of journalists the last months asking me, how do I feel because I got the recognition of the best chef in the world because of the Best Chef Awards. And always I'm giving the same answer. I don't feel like the best chef in the world because it's very difficult to say who is the best chef in the world or who is the best restaurant in the world, you know? So, yeah, I just trying from the beginning to make Diverso unique, to make it totally different from any other restaurant in the world. So I think we got a very strong DNA in the restaurant, and I'm pretty sure that if you blind your eyes and you taste at this from ourselves, you will notice that is our dish, that is a Dabiz Munoz, is the Dabiz Munoz cooking, you know. For me, the most emotional moment in a table in a restaurant like Diverso is when the plate comes to your table and already the design of the plate, the design of the dish is make you a kind of surprise. Then the waiter is explaining you the dish, and because of the concept and the main idea, the creativity behind the dish is keep going, surprising you. But the most important thing to me is when those two things has already happened, and you take your fork and your spoon, you take the food, put in your mouth, and not only is delicious, as well is connected with the explanation and the creativity the waiter has told you, you know? I think when those three things comes together and the food is delicious, it's like a, wow, I think this is the top of the emotional moment in a restaurant like Diverso.
So for the ones that have never gone yet to Diverso, as Liliana said, Diverso is not just all about food. I mean, there's it's the ambience, it's the whole experience, it's the service, it's the welcome. So, and for the ones that we have already gone, it's so special. And we really want that you explain to the audience if it was your idea for doing that from the very beginning, because we said as well that you move from the very first beginning to another location where you are now. And if it's, and we've already seen also the video, the flies, all these flying pigs. So if you can just explain to us why, and why did you decided to do it so, and if you're going to keep them.
So, like I said, Diverso has mutated a lot of times, has changed completely a lot of times during the years. Diverso, I opened Diverso by myself. I never had, and I don't have actually an investor. So we did, in all these 3 different locations, the environment that we could afford for the restaurant. So the last location maybe was the most personal design and looking in the restaurant. So the restaurant is full of flying pigs and butterflies. Butterflies because, when I like the sensation of, not only when you are a child, as well when you're growing up and you're getting older, when you are in front of something that is new and is very exciting, you feel those butterflies in your stomach, So I wanted to recreate that sensation in Diverso because I want to achieve that anyone who is coming, even if first time to Diverso or has came already different times, we want to achieve that sensation in our guests. So that's why the butterflies, and because of the flying pigs, when I was a child, my dad used to tell me that I was all the time imagination things in my mind, thinking in magic and stupid things, and my dad told me that if one day a strange person came to me and telling me, okay, there is flying pigs on the sky, I will trash him and I will be looking for the flying pigs. So this is one of the main reasons, but as well, when I opened the third location 8 years ago, we had already 3 Michelin stars, and was very risky, and was very different to make a restaurant with that looking, full of flying pigs on the walls and on the cell with the butterflies. You know, I want the people, when the guests came into the restaurant, I want them to feel that if in a 3 Michelin star restaurant there are a lot of flying pigs on the walls, anything can happen. You know, and this is Diverso. Anything can happen. The only thing we trying to make sure every time is to make happy guests. We trying to do as much as we can every time, just to make happy people in the restaurant.
How are you going to manage in this new or the next location, if you have already think about that?
Yeah, it's going to be totally different. We didn't start in yet the design jobs, the design works of the new restaurant, but I got all of them already in my mind. It's going to be very diverse in a way. It's going to be very me. But it's going to be totally different to the other restaurants. You know, this location, I love the looking of the actual Diverso. And sometimes as well, when the people come into Diverso, the first sensation is that there is so many things going on. And some people at the very beginning, before starting to eat, they thinking that because there is a lot of things going on the restaurant, maybe the food is not going to be the most important thing. But in Diverso, it's true that there is a lot of things going on in terms of design in the restaurant, but as soon as you start in the table with your food, you will notice perfectly, 100%, that everything is focused on food and hospitality.
It seems to me that happened like in the last 3 years or something. There was much more drama, much more show before. Now everything is concentrated on the food.
Really? As I said, you know, Diverso has changed a lot during those years. So we've been in different phases. We've been in different stages of creativity. So it's true that we changed location to this one 8 years ago. It was more show. It was more about what happening around the table. As well was very important, the food, but sometimes because of the looking of the design of the restaurant, as well of the show that was happening around the table, maybe we lose a little bit the focus on the main food. But it's true that the last 3 years, everything is about food in Diverso. Even if there are flying pigs on the walls, even if there are butterflies on the cells, everything is focused on the food experience, and everything that happens on the table is a whole experience by themselves.
And are you going to be involved in the design of the new location as well, or?
But the design is going to be, as I said, very me and very Diverso, but it's going to be totally different because I'm in a different stage as a chef and as well as in my personal life. So now I think after pandemic, I started to think that I want to make the most unique Diverso in history. I wanted to take more risk than ever. I want to push the boundaries more than in all our history. So it's going to be the same crazy restaurant, but it's going to look totally different. And it's going to be focused 100% in make something even more unique than we are making already now in Diverso.
So design is the main topic for Gastromasa, and I think there's a lot of thought and intention in the art of plating. Do you have a team, or is it only your idea? And how many changes until you get to what you want to serve in the table, in the aesthetics part?
Okay, in Diverso we don't have a creativity team or even a creativity space. We make everything in Diverso Kitchen. Even we make the creativities for Diverso in Diverso, we make creativities for Strixo in Diverso, we make creativities for El Gocho, that is the delivery concept in Diverso. So everything, it's happening already in Diverso. We want to change that, but now actually it's in that way. I think design is very important, but we cannot lose that the most important thing in a restaurant is the food and the hospitality. Because it's true that food with hospitality comes together, because you can go to a restaurant that making amazing food, but if hospitality is not the same amazing than the food, the food is gonna shine a little bit less. Even when you go into a restaurant that the food is very nice, but it's not mind-blowing, but the hospitality is so nice, the food is more shiny, and the experience at the end, the global experience is much better. So I think design is a key component in the experience, but it's not the most important thing. It's true that I like to, as you saw on the video, I love to make artistic platings and trying to make our own dishes as well, the crockery we make in our canvas and everything. And yeah, I take a lot of focus on design, but once again, the most important thing is on the food.
Sorry. And how many tests maybe you do from the same proposal and for the same dish?
I'm always, I always carry on with me different notebooks. I write a lot of ideas, more than I can even try in creativity. I write in all the time different ideas. And then we're trying to replicate those ideas in different plates. A lot of them doesn't work from the beginning. Some of them, you notice that they are not going to work ever. Some of them, because, some of the ideas, when they are so different, they are so unique, they are so originals, it's difficult to make them happen, because you don't have examples of how to do that when you are making something completely new. When you want to make avant-garde, you don't have really examples of how do you have to do different things. So in Diverso, when we make a new dish, and sometimes it's after 100 tests, and the dish going to the floor already, we know from the beginning that the dish is gonna improve all the time. And that's happened always. We make a new dish, and 1 month later, it looks similar to the very first idea, but it has changed already completely. I'm always trying to make the best version, not only of my own restaurant, as well of the dishes that is already on the menu.
And how important is your team? I mean, I know the concept for the team, because I saw we saw already in the video, there was some of the members that were also before, but how important it is right now that they are also receiving some very nice and important awards for their labor. So
I think the team is there is always the chefs. We say that the team is the most important thing, and it's true. I mean, you cannot do a big restaurant, you cannot do a big concept if you don't have a big team. The last 3 years that we have been changing a lot of things as well about the restaurant, we changed as well, we are starting to change a lot of things as well about the company, and not only about the company, as well in the restaurants. Just this week, the manager of the Diverso restaurant, that is Marta, she's only 28 years old. He got the most important recognition in gastronomy about waiters in Spain. And she's only 28, and this is because of her, 100%. But as well is because we are giving a lot of importance to the...
Well, she's working for you for a long time.
For the last,
for 6 years.
She's 28, and she's working with me for the last 7 years. So she came as a stagiaire to the restaurant 7 years ago. From the beginning, I noticed that Marta has something different, that he's very talented, and we trying to support her and make her improve. And 7 years later, I think she's the youngest person to get this accolade in Spain. That is a huge and amazing thing for her, for me, and for the restaurant.
If I may ask, travels like this obviously reflect on your menu, because your concept is mixture of many Asian, actually many cuisines. So is there going to be in the future also in a new restaurant? Are you going to change the concept? Or the culinary philosophy will be the same?
I want, even before the new location, I want to change some concept in Diverso. It's true that Diverso is free creativity about everything, so I like to get contaminated with all my travels. So as I said, I never been Turkey, but I want to explore the Turkey gastronomy and the chefs and the restaurant, because always when you go into a different culture, you learn a lot of things. I don't want to learn to replicate. I just want to learn, and most of all, I want to understand the main idea and the regular basic of the gastronomic culture of different countries. Because in that way, is the only way that you really can improve your restaurant and not replicate. Because at the end, to replicate, that is the word of fusion, I think it's not that exciting. You know, it's okay, you can travel, you can learn, you can see, you are chef, you're working for a lot of years, so you just going back to your country, you just replicating what you have seen, just trying to surprise people. But the difficult thing is to understand the regular basic of gastronomic culture of different countries, and then improve your own cooking to a different level. So it was what I'm trying to do in all my travels. I love traveling, I love eating, I love cook, but if I have to choose between cooking or eating, I choose eating, 100%.
So in audience, there are many young cooks. Is there any advice or recipe for success you can give them?
The best recipe for success for young chefs is don't follow the success. I mean, it's just trying to make to me, what obsessed me from the beginning in my restaurant is to make it full bookings with happy people. If my restaurant is full bookings, I mean, the recognition and awards are amazing, of course, and is always a matter of happiness for anyone. But if I have to change to have my restaurant full bookings for awards, I will not. I prefer to have my restaurant full bookings. You know, another question that a lot of people asking me all over the time is, how do I get the third Michelin star so young in a very short period of time? And if it's a lot of pressure to maintain the third Michelin star. The best recipe, in my case, to get the third Michelin star is just don't follow it. I mean, I didn't follow the first one, I didn't follow the second one, and I didn't follow the third one. Even when we had 2 Michelin stars, there was like a different areas of the restaurant in terms of luxury or hospitality that the restaurant, because the restaurant, even with 2 Michelin stars, was already very humble, in a humble neighbor, and was a humble restaurant. But we couldn't afford this kind of things in our restaurant, so we didn't do it. And even like that, we got the third Michelin star. So I think the best recipe is just trying to do the things just because you are passionate about it. Have blind faith in yourself. This is very important, because it's normal that when the people comes to your restaurant, there will be people that will love your restaurant, and there will be people who doesn't like it. So when somebody doesn't like it, you know, maybe you are not that confident. Happened to all of us. To all of us happen when somebody doesn't like your restaurant. But you have to be blind faith in your concept, in your food, and in your restaurant. This is the best recipe.
Thanks.
Thank you, David, for being with
Thank
us.
you.
Bravo.
We are so happy to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Cosmen.
Juliana?
Thank you.